friend. Good morning, everybody. In last lecture, we were talking about this slide. In fact, like we discuss all other aspects of the we started like let me tell you quick because this is where we started last lecture. This is unit 2, right? We have already started unit 2, and let me again tell you, first internal test would be best only on unit 1. As far as unit 2 is concerned, this is very, very important. This is identification of research problem, how research problem is to be identified. So we started with the research. I told you what the research is all about. Then we explained basic research and applied research. Similarly, correlational research and experimental research. And then we went ahead and discussed qualitative and quantitative research. I have given you a couple of examples. This is the comparative of the qualitative and quantitative research. And then why in research viva analysis is going to be important. This also we have discussed in the last lecture. And then we started thinking of selection of research problem, like with the perspective of the student or PhD scholar, what would be his perception while selecting research problem. And then we discuss the steps which are to be involved in selection of research problem. I told you that research question is going to be very important, and therefore what are the features of research questions, right? I have given you some example of research questions, right? And then how research questions is going to be generated, that we have also discussed. And we have also talked about that research question should be very clear, focused, concise, complex, and arguable. Okay, and we have given some examples as well. So today we are going to discuss identification of research problem. Let me tell you, my friend, this research methodology course has been included in your curriculum for two different reasons. One is you will have to undertake a research project right from your third semester onwards. So whenever we are talking about research project, you need to understand how problem can be identified. And therefore, what we are doing is in first semester, we are teaching you this research methodology course, which is for 2 credit, right? We are having 2 credit for this course. In this particular course, we are intentionally giving you some sort of training, what exactly the research is all about, how what kind of scientific process that need to be adopted to identify the problem. Once the problem is identified, then how literature review can be done, how hypothesis can be formulated from literature review, and then how research objectives and methodologies can be prepared, and how the experimental plan can be made ready. So this kind of, all those details we will be giving you in this particular semester. I mean, in semester 1. Semester 2, you are expected to do this, all this, whatever you are going to learn, you will have to practice that in semester 2. I mean, you will have to identify the journals, you have to download the research papers, you have to do the review of those research papers. Based on those research paper, you will be formulating the hypothesis, and then you will be writing your objectives and methodology and experimental plan. This you will have to do in semester 2. And in semester 3, you will be working on project, like whatever research objective you have, whatever methodologies you will be having, you will have to work on that right from semester 3rd onwards. So this is, and by doing this, you will get an opportunity to understand how the research processes are, what are the fundamental of research. And whenever, like if at all you are interested in doing PhD, it will be easier for you later, because you are going to get all that's, I mean, the fundamental training, basic training of research during your MSc itself. So this was one objective of including this course in the curriculum. Other objective was, as I mentioned earlier, and as I have mentioned many times, that research is not always for doing PhD. Research is always there for making your life, for making yourself happy. So everybody, if you really want to make yourself happy, you need to keep on doing research. So therefore, that is why, like, while explaining, I'm not always going to tell you that this is going to be useful only for doing PhD, but I'm always telling you that whatever research processes you are adopting, the similar kind of processes we need to adopt in our day-to-day life as well, so that you can make yourself happy and you can make others happy, those who are those who are very close to you. Okay, so these are two reasons. And therefore now I will be telling you, because you need to be very careful now listening, because whatever you are going to listen, this you have to do it in the semester 2. You have to do it, otherwise if you don't do it, you will be struggling like anything. Okay, and therefore from this topic onwards, like whatever I have told you till this point of time was a fundamental aspect of research, right? But now I will be telling you what exactly you have to do, what you will be doing in semester 2, right? The very first thing that is going to be in research is identification of research problem. So how to start research problem? Selection of broad area of research. This is the first, step that everybody has to follow. तो क्या करना है आपको? आपको जिस एरिया में काम करना है उसका ब्रॉड रिसर्च एरिया को आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है. जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल, whenever the students are coming to my research laboratory for and asking me whether I should allow them for doing PhD, I always ask them to do some exercise. What kind of exercise I'm asking them to do? I'm asking them to spend some time with the research scholar. I'm asking them to understand like what kind of research we are doing in the laboratory. मतलब मैं उनको बोलता हूँ कि भाई आप मेरे जो research scholar है उनके साथ आप जाइए, उनके साथ आप बैठिए, उनसे बात करिए, and see like what kind of research we are doing. And then I will ask student to meet me, and then I will be raising some question. That question would be, what would be your broad area of research? मतलब आप किस broad area पे काम करना चाहते हो? जैसे कि मैंने पहले भी बताया, and I'm going to, because somewhere before we close, not today but this semester, I'm going to show you what kind of facilities RUSA Center for Advanced Sensor Technology is having, where I'm heading, right, where I'm working as a director. So I'm going to kindly mute yourself. Hello.
Yes, sir.
All are requested to mute yourself. Okay. And therefore, like whenever you will be doing your whenever the student will be coming to my lab, I always ask them to identify broad topic of investigation. जैसे कि मेरे पास, मैं दो एरिया में काम करता हूँ, एक है हेवी मेटल आयन सेंसर एंड दूसरा है गैस सेंसर्स. So whenever students are approaching me, I will be asking them, you tell me which topic would you like to prefer and why, because why is very important. क्योंकि जब तक आप खुद को पता नहीं होगा कि आप ये क्या क्यों करना चाहते हो, तब तक आप उसको सही तरीके से जस्टिफाई नहीं कर पाओगे. So first of all, you need to select broad area of research. So wherever you will be going, जिस लैब में आप थर्ड और फोर्थ सेमेस्टर में काम करना चाहोगे, first of all, what you need to do, you need to go to the lab, discuss with the research scholars and the teacher, read some fundamentals, right? First of all, before reading fundamental, you need to identify broad area of research. मतलब उस लैब में जो एरियाज है जहां पर काम होता है, जिस एरियाज में, उसमें से which area would you like to pursue further, and then why. So because usually I am asking student like why you want to work on either gas sensor or chemical sensor, because whenever you are justifying yourself against why, आपको बहुत पढ़ना पड़ेगा, and जब आप पढ़ेंगे तभी उसका आप जवाब दे पाओगे. And then once you identify a broad area of research, then I will be asking student to read fundamental of that broad topic, so that you will be able to understand the fundamental of that particular topic, because you need to be very sure about the fundamental. You need to be very sure about why you want to work on that topic. For that purpose, you need to read some fundamental of that broad topic, and then you need to discuss with your colleague and guide. I mean, colleague means what? The lab which you will be joining. So you need to discuss with those research scholars and PhD advisor, क्योंकि आप जो भी पढ़ेंगे वो आपको सब कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा. रिसर्च इज समथिंग लाइक whenever you are reading research paper, it will be very difficult for you to understand in first go. Sometime it may happen कि जब आप रिसर्च पेपर पहली बार पढ़ने जाओगे तो आपको मतलब like if you are able to understand something around 5%, you should be very happy. क्योंकि रिसर्च पेपर पढ़ते समय बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि उसमें से कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आएगा आपको, कुछ भी नहीं. So if you are able to understand something around 5%, you should be very happy person. मतलब खुश होना चाहिए कि 5% तो मैं समझ पाया हूँ. So then what you need to do? You need to read it again. So moment you read, as you keep on reading the question, I mean those research paper more oftenly, I'm sure the level of understanding would be, you will be able to enhance your level of understanding, right? तो इसलिए आपको पढ़ना है एंड डिस्कस करना है आपके फेलो कलीग के साथ में और पीएचडी गाइड के साथ में. After that, you will have to do systematic review of literature. Now, review of literature, I'm going to tell you how to do it, what to do it, okay, and what you are going to achieve through literature review. Literature review का मतलब खाली ये होता है कि उस समय तक उस एरिया में जो टॉपिक आपने डिसाइड किया है उस एरिया में किन किन लोगों ने कहाँ किस लेवल का काम किया है. So you need to for that purpose, what you need to do, first of all, the very first exercise that you need to do is identification of good journals. जब मेरे पास कोई स्टूडेंट आता है तो मैं कहता हूँ कि भाई आपको अगर काम करना है मेरे साथ तो सबसे पहले आप जिस ब्रॉड एरिया में आप काम करना चाहते हो उससे रिलेटेड 10 बेस्ट जर्नल आप आइडेंटिफाई करिए. यू नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई 10 बेस्ट जर्नल. अब जब बेस्ट जर्नल की बात आई तो आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि बेस्ट जर्नल किसको कहा जाता है, उसके मायने क्या है, राइट? सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द जर्नल ऑफ इंटरनेशनल रेप्यूट और बेस्ट जर्नल, एंड देन यू नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई 10 बेस्ट जर्नल इन द एरिया, in broad area which you have selected for your research. एंड देन उसी 10 जर्नल से आपको क्या करना है, रिसर्च पेपर को डाउनलोड करना है. एंड देन आफ्टर डाउनलोडिंग दोस पेपर्स, देन यू विल बी कैटेगराइजिंग दोस पेपर, लाइक अराउंड 50-60 पेपर तो आपको निकालने पड़ेंगे उसमें से. लेकिन एज पर एज लाइक आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट पीएचडी स्टूडेंट, राइट? इफ पीएचडी स्टूडेंट वांट टू रजिस्टर फॉर पीएचडी तो उनके लिए कम से कम 50-60 पेपर तो कम से कम होने चाहिए. बट इफ यू आर एमएससी स्टूडेंट, then you need not have you need not download 50 question, I mean research paper. You can download around 10 to 15 research paper from those reputed journals, and then वो 10-15 पेपर जो है उसको each one by one उसको रिव्यू करना है आपको. तो रिव्यू करेंगे तो क्या करेंगे, you will be I mean आप देखेंगे कि वो जो रिसर्च पेपर है वो किन ऑथर का है, कहाँ के है वो ऑथर्स, रिसर्चर कहाँ के हैं, उनका एप्लीकेशन क्या है, व्हाट वाज देयर ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, व्हाट वाज देयर मेथोडोलॉजी, ओके, व्हाट वर देयर रिजल्ट एंड डिस्कशन के लिए क्या क्या उन्होंने इक्विपमेंट यूज किए, राइट? व्हाट वाज देयर कंक्लूजन, एंड देन व्हाट आर द लैकुनास इन देयर इन्वेस्टिगेशन. दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. कंक्लूजन क्या है एंड लैकुनास क्या है इन्वेस्टिगेशन में. जब तक आप वो लैकुनास आइडेंटिफाई नहीं करोगे तब तक आप एक अपना खुद का प्लान बना नहीं पाओगे, तब तक आपको जो है नॉवेल्टी नहीं आएगी. ओके, सो व्हाइल रीडिंग पेपर यू नीड टू कीप दिस intact. Like you need to understand what are their objectives, what are methodology, what tools they have used for interpretation of data, what are their conclusion, and then most importantly what are the drawback or shortcomings or lacunas from their investigation, and then you need to see whether you will be able to address that. If you can address that, then you will have to prepare a comprehensive planning to address that. So like that, जितने भी 10-12 पेपर है उसके सबके आपके रिव्यू करना है, and after review you will be able to fine tune your problem. फाइन ट्यूनिंग का मतलब क्या है, जैसा कि आपको बताया मैंने, आपका ब्रॉड था प्रॉब्लम था सेंसर्स, सेंसर्स मतलब गैस सेंसर्स, लेकिन गैस सेंसर तो काफी ब्रॉड है, उसमें CO2 मतलब कौन से which सेंसर यू वांट, मतलब गैस सेंसर में कौन से गैस डिटेक्ट करने के लिए आपको सेंसर बनाना है. So then after doing literature review you will be able to understand what would be the priority, whether CO2 detection is important or CO is important or S2S is important and why. Okay, every time, that is why it is why analysis. Every time you need to raise the questions, every time you need to ask question to yourself, like why I'm doing this. As long as, please mute. As long as you are not, as long as you are asking question, you will be on right track. The moment you stop asking questions, then you will be losing track. इसलिए अपने आप को ट्रैक में रखने के लिए, if you want yourself to be on track, you need to raise those questions. why एनालिसिस जो है आपको बार बार करना पड़ेगा. तो आप जो है पहले ब्रॉड टॉपिक आपका था गैस सेंसर, उसके बाद में आपको देखना है कि ये लिटरेचर रिव्यू के बाद में आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि व्हाट आई वांट टू डू नाउ, right? Whether I would like to develop a sensor for detection of CO2 or CO or S2O, S2S or something of that sort. So that is what we call as fine tuning of your research problem. Moreover, you will be, while fine tuning, you need to focus on some materials, because there could be a number of materials which can be used for development of sensor. But which material you are interested in, that need to be finalized here itself while fine tuning problem. And then state exactly what you expect to achieve as a result of your study. This is very very important. जब भी आप फाइन ट्यूनिंग करेंगे तब आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि what are your expectations. आप ये जो काम करना चाहते हो, at the end of 3 years what you are going to be, what are your expectation, like आप क्या चाहते हो, आपको मतलब what kind of result you are expecting, right? Unless you put this on paper, you will not be able to channelize yourself, and therefore these are some of the important steps while identification of research problem. I will be repeating this again in due course of time. Now while doing research, what are the challenges that you will be facing? सबसे पहला चैलेंज है टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट, क्योंकि अगर आप समय अगर नहीं दे पाओ, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू डू क्वालिटी रिसर्च. क्योंकि टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट का मतलब यह है कि या तो आप टाइम आपके पास बहुत है लेकिन आप देना नहीं चाहते हो, आप कम से कम समय में पीएचडी निकलना चाहते हो, या वट एवर रिसर्च यू आर डूइंग, इट्स नॉट ओनली पीएचडी रिसर्च, बट जो आप घर में आपके कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, आपका एक स्ट्रेटेजी आपने प्लान किया उसको रिजॉल्व करने का, दैट इज ऑल्सो काइंड ऑफ रिसर्च. उसमें आप समय नहीं देना चाहते हो, आप चाहते हो कि भाई एक दिन मैं सोचूं और दूसरे दिन रिजल्ट आए. नो, ऐसा कभी भी होता नहीं. लाइक whenever you are planning, you need to allow others to get adjusted with it, and then only you will start looking at the fruits, right? And therefore time constraint is going to be one of the hurdle, one of the challenges while doing research. मतलब टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट का मतलब ये होता है कि आपके पास समय बिल्कुल ही नहीं है, राइट? तो आप समय नहीं देना चाहते हो. समय अगर नहीं देना चाहते हो तो यू आर नॉट एबल टू गेट द क्वालिटी डेटा, नंबर 1. नंबर 2 ये है कि आप देना नहीं चाहते हो, मतलब आप, सबसे पहला ये है कि आप मतलब somehow like आप यू आर नॉट एबल टू मैनेज योर टाइम, राइट? मतलब मतलब आपके पास समय तो है लेकिन देना नहीं चाहते. दूसरा है कि आपके पास समय है ही नहीं, बिकॉज यू आर सो बिजी विद सम अदर वर्क, राइट? मतलब आप चाहते हो समय देना लेकिन समय दे नहीं पाते. यू इन स्पॉट ऑफ योर स्ट्रॉन्ग विल यू आर नॉट एबल टू स्पेंड क्वालिटी टाइम, देन ओनली द क्वालिटी ऑफ रिसर्च इज गोइंग टू बी हैम्पर्ड. दूसरा प्रॉब्लम है फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम. अगर आपके पास फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम की अगर इश्यूज है, लाइक आपको कोई फेलोशिप नहीं है, आप फिर भी रिसर्च कर रहे हो, राइट? एंड देन आपको क्योंकि पैसा नहीं है आपके पास, इसलिए आपको पार्ट टाइम का ही जॉब करना पड़ रहा है, सो दैट योर जो भी मंथली एक्सपेंसेस है वो फुलफिल करने के लिए आपको जॉब करना पड़ रहा है. एज ए रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट आप समय नहीं दे पा रहे हो बिकॉज ऑफ फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम. दूसरा ये है कि फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम की वजह से आपके पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अवेलेबल नहीं है. मतलब आप चाहते हो कि आपके लैब में कुछ ऐसे इक्विपमेंट हो कि जिससे आप काम जल्दी से जल्दी आप कर पाओगे, लेकिन आपके पास पैसा नहीं है इसलिए आप एक्सपेरिमेंट कर नहीं पाओगे, आप किसी और के लैब में जाकर एक्सपेरिमेंट करोगे, सो देन यू विल बी इन क्यू, क्योंकि वो जो एक्सपेरिमेंट है किसी और के लैब में आप करना चाहोगे तो वो कहेगा कि जब तक मैं नहीं, मेरे बच्चे जब तक करने के बाद अगर खाली रहता है इक्विपमेंट तो मैं अलाउ करूंगा, राइट? सो दैट काइंड ऑफ इश्यूज यू विल बी फेसिंग इफ यू आर हैविंग फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम। थर्ड वन इज लेबोरेटरी फैसिलिटीज। मान लो आपके पास फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है लेकिन फैसिलिटीज आप क्रिएट नहीं कर पाए आप फॉर सम रीजन, राइट? फॉर सम रीजन although you are good enough in finance, you are sound financially, लेकिन आपके जिस लैब में आप काम करना चाहते हो वहां पर फैसिलिटीज अवेलेबल नहीं है। लेबोरेटरी फैसिलिटीज एंड अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ इक्विपमेंट बोथ द सेम। तो अगर आपके पास इक्विपमेंट अवेलेबल नहीं है, laboratories and facilities nahi hai, then again you will not be able to do the quality research. Next is human resource limitation. Human resource limitations means कि कभी कभी ऐसा होगा कि मेरे पास मुझे चाहिए 5 लोग काम करने के लिए मेरे प्रोजेक्ट पर, and somehow I am not able to afford the salaries of all those 5 people, so I have hired only one person. So as a result of that, only one person will not be able to do all those, experiments and analysis of the data. So because of the shortage of limitation of human resources, I will be my research is going to be hampered. This is number one. Number two is although you have enough, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स तो अवेलेबल है आपके, बट उनके खुद के लिमिटेशंस हैं। मतलब ह्यूमन रिसोर्स लिमिटेशन मतलब डेटा इंटरप्रिटेशन करने के लिए नॉलेज सही नहीं है, एक्सपेरिमेंट करने के लिए उतना एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, सो उनके अपने लिमिटेशंस है। नंबर तो है, क्वांटिटी तो है, लेकिन उनके पास नॉलेज उतना नहीं है, उनके पास एक्सपर्टीज नहीं है। एज ए रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट दे आर स्ट्रगलिंग। After 10 minutes, this is going to be terminated, session is going to be terminated, and you will have to rejoin again. And next one is a proper literature review. This is very, very important. Like whenever you are doing research, very first thing that you need to do is literature review. Unless you do a proper literature review, you will not be able to do the quality research. So these are some of the challenges why you will be having while doing research. But of course, like whatever challenges you will be having, you need to find out your own way out for that. Otherwise, your research is going to be hampered like anything. So this is what the unit 2 was all about. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, this is incomplete. Like we could not finish the entire thing in unit 2, and that is why I have decided to include unit 3 in the curriculum. In the syllabus of examination, right? So as far as our examination is concerned, second internal test would be based on unit 2 and unit 3, and similarly semester end examination would be based on unit 1, 2, 3. Now unit 3 is going to be formulation of research problem. Like we have identified the problem. Now how it is to be formulated? Identification of problem is one, and formulation of problem is next step. It is just next step, right? So आप लोगों ने देख लिया कि प्रॉब्लम को कैसे आइडेंटिफाई किया जाए। अभी आपको हम बताएंगे कि प्रॉब्लम को फॉर्मुलेट कैसे किया जाए। सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी रिसर्च जर्नी और रिसर्च प्रोसेस। जब भी हम पीएचडी के लिए रिसर्च करते हैं, ज्वाइन करते हैं, तो दिस 11 पॉइंट्स, 11 स्टेप वन हैज टू डू। नंबर 1, सिलेक्शन ऑफ प्रॉब्लम और ब्रॉड टॉपिक ऑफ रिसर्च। ये जैसे मैंने पहले बताया कि it always start with selection of problem. It always start with selection of broad topic of research, जो मैंने आपको पहले बताया। Second step would be literature review. Once you after understanding the मतलब selection of problem के बाद में क्या होगा, broad topic के बाद में आपको थोड़ा सा fundamental पढ़ना पड़ेगा। Once you go through the fundamental, next step would be literature review. Now how literature review can be done, that I am going to tell you in detail in due course of time. सेकंड होगा लिटरेचर रिव्यू। लिटरेचर रिव्यू मतलब क्या है कि उस पॉइंट लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आज आप लिटरेचर रिव्यू कर रहे हो, तो आज तक जिस टॉपिक में, जो ब्रॉड टॉपिक मैंने आइडेंटिफाई किया, उस टॉपिक में इंडिया में और इंडिया के बाहर क्या काम हो रहा है, राइट? उनके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या है, उनके मेथोडोलॉजीज क्या है, उनके टूल्स कौन से यूज किए उन लोगों ने डेटा इंटरप्रेट करने के लिए, उनके कंक्लूजन्स क्या है, एंड उनके कंक्लूजन में इश्यूज क्या है, and then what would be my plan to address those issues, right? So that will come under literature review. And then once you do the literature review, next would be fine tuning of research problem. जैसे कि रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम मैंने क्या किया, जैसे पहले बताया कि पहला मेरा ब्रॉड टॉपिक था गैस सेंसर, बाद में होगा CO2 सेंसर. मतलब अभी पहले मैंने क्या किया, सेंसर लाइक गैस सेंसर पे काम करना चाहता था. आई वाज नॉट वेरी स्पेसिफिक. देन आफ्टर गोइंग थ्रू द लिटरेचर रिव्यू पढ़ने के बाद मुझे पता चला कि CO2 और CO is going to be very very important gas sensor, and therefore I would like to focus only on CO2 or CO or S2S, some of them. So it means we are fine tuning research problem. And once you fine tune research problem, you need to formulate hypothesis. हाइपोथेसिस क्या होगा, हाइपोथेसिस भी मैंने आपको ये सभी प्रोसेस में डिटेल में आपको बताने वाला हूं, बट हियर आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू ब्रीफली व्हाट इज हाइपोथेसिस. हाइपोथेसिस इज mere assumption. But the difference between assumption, there is a fine difference between assumption and hypothesis. What is the difference? The difference is hypothesis can be assumption can be altogether imaginary, whereas hypothesis can never be imaginary. It has I mean it is going to have some kind of technical proof, some technical stand support, so that whatever claim you are making in the hypothesis, those claim can be substantiated, right? So details of hypothesis I am going to tell you later. Then formulation of objectives and methodology. Like once you formulate hypothesis होता क्या है? Hypothesis ये होता है कि I am going to do this and I am going to achieve this, right? मतलब ये सब करने के बाद मतलब I am going to follow step number 1, 2, 3, and as a result of that I will be achieving step number 1, 2, 3, right? मतलब मैं कुछ करना चाहता हूं, वो करने के बाद ये मुझे मिलने वाला है. So this is what the hypothesis is. Now whenever you are saying I would like to do something, how you are going to do it? What would be your objectives for that? What would be your objectives for that? जैसे कि for example मेरा hypothesis ये है कि जो CO2 सेंसर जो मैं बना रहा हूं, वो CO2 सेंसर का लो डिटेक्शन लिमिट 5 ppm है, रिस्पॉन्स टाइम एंड रिकवरी टाइम 10 सेकंड है, स्टेबिलिटी उसकी 2 महीने के लिए स्टेबिलिटी है, सेंसिटिविटी उसकी बहुत 75% सेंसिटिविटी है. सो दीज आर माय हाइपोथेसिस, राइट? मतलब whatever material I will be using, by using that material for CO sensor, the sensor which I am going to develop, that sensor will have this feature, right? अब वो कैसे करना है? So objective number 1, what I am going to do, right? Like synthesis of material, right? Objective number 2, characterization of material. Objective number 3, testing of that material for some gassing properties, like that. So step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, these are going to be objectives. Objectives are always going to be in bullet form, and then accordingly I need to have the methodology as well. Objectives क्या है कि मैं ये करना चाहता हूँ, like synthesis of let us say carbon nanotube. So how you are going to do is the synthesis of carbon nanotube will be carried out by this and this method. मतलब you will be specifying method in the methodology. That is why it is called as methodology. मतलब जो ऑब्जेक्टिव में आप करना चाहते हो, मेथोडोलॉजी में आप बताएंगे कि किस मेथड से आप करोगे, right? So if there are 3 objectives, there would be 3 methodologies, right? Next would be a preparation for collection of data. आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स फाइनल हुए, आपके मेथोडोलॉजी फाइनल हुआ, अभी आपको क्या करना है? डेटा कलेक्शन के लिए अपने आप को प्रिपेयर करना है, राइट? Okay, data collection के लिए either through experiment or through observations. And then next step would be you will be conducting experiment and you will be having some data, okay, collection of data. Then once you have the data, you will have to interpret or analysis the data. Once you have data with you, you will be doing a comprehensive analysis or you will be doing interpretation of the data. And once the data is interpreted, evaluation of data and testing of hypothesis. Like once the data is interpreted, you will be evaluating the data with respect to hypothesis. Hypothesis में जो आपने कहा था ना कि आपका लो डिटेक्शन लिमिट ये होगा, रिस्पॉन्स टाइम ये होगा, स्टेबिलिटी ये होगा, सेंसिटिविटी ये होगा, तो आप देखोगे कि भाई वो उस नंबर तक मैं पहुंच पाया या नहीं. दैट इज व्हाई वी कॉल्ड इट एज टेस्टिंग अ हाइपोथेसिस. जब आपको लगेगा कि जो मैं चाहता था वो मैं कर ही नहीं पाया, तो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू, you need to make the changes in hypothesis and then you have to repeat from step number 5 to 9. फिर से आप डेटा मतलब फॉर्मुलेशन हाइपोथेसिस ऑब्जेक्टिव्स करिए, बिकॉज व्हाटएवर हाइपोथेसिस यू हैव फॉर्मुलेटेड वो तो आप वहां तक पहुंच ही नहीं पाए, तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? हाइपोथेसिस में कुछ चेंजेस करने हैं, Accordingly, objectives and methodology में changes होंगे. Accordingly, you are going to get different data. You will be analyzing the data and again you will be testing the hypothesis. Once you reach there, जो hypothesis में जो आपने कहा वहां तक एक बार पहुंचने के बाद, then what you need to do next would be making correction. ये तो मैंने बताया कि making correction, क्योंकि hypothesis test अगर नहीं हुआ तो making correction in hypothesis and you will be repeating for step number 5 to 9. लेकिन मान लो आपको वैसा नहीं हुआ, जो आप चाहते थे वही हुआ, राइट? मतलब आप चाहते थे कि आपका रिस्पांस टाइम 50 सेकंड हो, बिल्कुल वही हुआ. आप चाहते थे लोअर रिस्पांस, लोअर डिटेक्शन लिमिट आपका 5 ppm हो, आपको 5 ppm मिला. आप चाहते थे कि आपका स्टेबिलिटी 1 महीने का हो, आपको 1 महीने की मिली. मतलब व्हाटएवर you have estimated in the hypothesis, you could reach the same destination. So in that case, your job is over. What you need to do then, because you have already interpreted, then you need to write the report. Okay, writing report could be either paper submission or it could be thesis submission, thesis PhD thesis submission, right? So these are all steps that everybody has to follow in research. That is why I call it as a research journey or research processes. And then this is again the same research processes I have explained in the diagrammatic form: defining research problem, review of concepts and theories, review of previous research finding. Then you will be formulating hypothesis, and then please, because this is going to stop now, you will have to rejoin again. Design of research, then designing of research. I mean, you will be based on the hypothesis, you will be setting objectives and methodology, you will be collecting data, analyzing data, and then again, you will be interpreting data and testing a hypothesis. And if the hypothesis is tested positively, you will be writing report. So this is how the entire processes, research design or process is going to be. Now I'm going to tell you in detail what the research literature review. So after a very few, maybe after 1 or 2 seconds, is going to be terminated.